Hi, my name's Gareth. I'm head executive chef here at Quinta Lago. I've got a nice little dish for you today, and it is roast cauliflower steak shawarma. The ingredients for this you'll require quite a few spices on this, but I'm sure you'll have them in the cupboard. We'll start with the cauliflower, one head of cauliflower, butternut squash, aubergine, peppers and courgettes, asparagus, bit of basil and the spices. In the spices we've got, to make the shawarma spice, we've got ground cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, smoked paprika, cumin, coriander and some cardamoms. Blitz them all up, mix them together, and then you've got your shawarma spice ready. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just get the cauliflower and make a steak out of it. Just trim the leaves off, and once you've got the head of the cauliflower, what you want to do is try and keep some of the stalk in though. This box holds it in. Slowly go down. You can use this, all the trimmings for things like piccalilli, homemade piccalilli, and even just some cauliflower rice, some other dishes that you might require. Do it quite thick. So there we go. And that's what the steak looks like. I'll get another one out of here. Should be able to get about 2 or 3 out. Just trim a few more of the leaves off, and now we've got our steaks ready. All this can be done in the oven, roasted, but what I like to do is just start it off in the pan first. So basically, pan, on we go, get the temperature up, always make sure your pan is hot before you add anything in. Otherwise, if you put oil in the pan when it's cold, all the vegetables absorb, or the meat, fish, always absorb all the oil, which is not too good. Just a little splash of oil. Make sure the pan is nice and hot. And then what I do is just put the steak in, like so. And all I'm going to do is just seal it, get a bit of colour on, just to help it through the oven a bit later. With the shawarma spice, what I do is just use a little bit of maple syrup and the spices that I've already mixed. Just add a little bit in. Basically making a bit of a paste, really. What you find, it gets a little bit thick. Obviously the maple syrup is quite thick, so I add just a little bit of water sometimes, just to help it lax it down. There we go. A nice paste, just to baste the cauliflower with. Just see how these boys are getting on. Basically all I'm doing is not putting too much colour on, because this will come darker in the oven. So all I'm doing is just introducing it a little bit. What I do with the paste, just rub it over the cauliflower. There we go. Just be careful at this point because of the sugar content in the syrup, but we don't want to be making a burning sensation on it. So that's done. I'm now going to pop this into the oven for about 20-25 minutes. Okay. Meanwhile, what we've got with the diced vegetables, I mix these in. First of all, put these two in for about 10 minutes on the same tray as the cauliflower. Okay. Put them in, a little splash of oil on it, just a little, nothing much, okay? And then just tip them on the tray, straight in the oven with the cauliflower. After about 5 minutes later, what I do is add the courgette and the aubergine, and some of my favourite food, the asparagus. We've been very fortunate today to have all these ingredients from the Quinta farm, which we're blessed with here. So beautiful produce, nice and fresh this morning, which I've got to thank the guys down there for doing a fantastic job. Next we're going to make the chutney. Chutney is quite simple. It's not al pesto, it's more of a chutney. So it's quite thick, sometimes a bit chunky, depending on what you require. So what we've done is a bit unusual for a chutney. We've got maple syrup again, a little bit of water, helps to get the consistency right. Garlic, coriander, avocado and lime. We're just using the juice of the lime today. So basically what we do is take half an avocado, skin it, destone it, throw it in the blender with the coriander, a little bit of the maple syrup and 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, and don't forget your seasoning as well. This can be corrected at the end when you taste it. Just throw them in, blitz it up. The consistency, I use a bit of water, usually about 30 mils, 50 mils of water, just to get the consistency. You'll find that it clogs up a bit. Add the water and it becomes nice and smooth. Don't worry if it's a bit chunky, it's a bit raw and nice and tasty. So fresh ingredients there. So to plating up, food's all been cooked in the oven and we're ready to plate up. Okay, so we've got 25 minutes more or less done for the food. Just taking these out of the oven, it's quite hot. Ooh. Right, plating up, nice and easy, nice and simple. Presentation, it always looks nice on the eye. So get the steak, please be careful with this because it can break up slightly, but don't worry if it does, just place it on. Right, I've just put the cauliflower, you can see the nice spices and the maple syrup are soaked in to the cauliflower. Then we get some asparagus. Little tip, always use 3 odd numbers, always looks good on a plate. Even numbers just doesn't really fit. And then the vegetables, which we've roasted off. Put a little bit of seasoning on already. Like I say, just got to be a little bit careful. Just plate it on. So the butternut squash, a little bit of aubergine, courgette, lovely peppers. Thrown in a couple of shallots because they came with the delivery, so I thought I'd just add this. On the recipe, you can add what you want with this, whatever you've got in the cupboard, in the fridge, the vegetables. So I've just put a few shallots because they arrived today. So we've got a nice little dish there. And then we've got the chutney that we blitzed up. I've done mine quite smooth, I like mine quite smooth. Like I say, don't worry if it's a bit thick. Just simply put it on the side there. Some people put it on top, it's up to you. So there we go, we've got a roast cauliflower, vegetable and asparagus with the pure green chutney, shawarma. On this is a vegan dish, no allergens, but if you want to change something, if you want some meat or fish, don't be afraid just to put a bit of salmon, sea bass. I've got some chicken here which I just cooked off. So, but what I've done with this, I used some more of the shawarma paste, just coated it slightly, roasted it off, and then, quite simple. Carve the chicken to just give it a bit of that restaurant look. Then spread it out. And then so from a vegan dish, we've got a meat dish as well. So it's 2 in 1. Okay, enjoy.